Welcome to the UK's first metal detection podcast. It's All Metal Mode UK with your host from across the pond, Mr. Michael Hare. Nocta Macro Detectors is the fastest growing manufacturer in the industry, and for good reason. Many detectorists, including Mike Hare, call us the most innovative, but we are so much more than that. We listen to and care about our customers. We also offer a wide range of detectors to fit all of your needs. Come check out all of our products today at www.noctadetectors.com. Detectors for everyone, everywhere. A lifetime.
Hey everybody, this is Mike Hare, and you're listening to the All Metal Mode Podcast UK, along with my very, very special co-host, Mr. Dave Sadler. Yes, I apologize for all the issues we've had, and we haven't been on in the past few weeks. Sometimes we just have technical issues. It happens. We try to keep it to a minimum. Last week, I turned my computer on in the morning. Everything was good. I used it a little bit. Went to jump on about an hour before the podcast, start getting everything ready, and it was so sluggish. I couldn't even get it. I didn't even think we could have ran the show, and so no big deal, turn it off, turn it back on, figured there might be an update. There was, but I couldn't get the update to take. I think it took 3 times. And then right before the show, there was still hope, and Skype was gone off of my desktop. I had to re-download it. It didn't want to take. I couldn't get it to open and stuff, so it was just a mess. I apologize. We want to keep those to a minimum. However, I'll wait till Dave's on, because Dave did do a show with one of our guests, and I'll let him explain that when he comes on. As some of you know, I write articles, metal detecting articles, reviews, that kind of thing. If you're interested, allmetalmode.com. You can go there and you'll see articles across the top. I'm working on completely redoing the website, but I don't know when I'll have that up and going with the kids and everything. So busy. It's been a rough week or so. My little girl's been sick and a lot going on, but I'm getting it. But yeah, if you're interested in the articles, check that out. There's also a new online magazine. It's all United States people so far. I don't know if they'll have anybody in the UK and it ever what's going on, but dirtdigest.com, pretty neat magazine. Guy's real nice. Matter of fact, this current issue, I have my Amphibio review in there, and then next month the C-Scope review is going to be in there. So yeah, I'm helping them out a little bit, help them get started. But so far, neat magazine. So again, that's dirtdigest.com. You can follow us on Facebook at All Metal Mode Podcast UK, Metal Detecting UK Dirt Fishing, Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine, and Archaeology and Metal Detecting Group. So follow us on Facebook. Come on there and tell us how we're doing. Give us tips if you got them. If you got suggestions for guests, anything like that, get a hold of us. Don't forget, you can also find us on Spreaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and even other affiliates. I know Spotify is one of them. You can find us on Spotify. I've never even used Spotify myself. You can download the show and listen to it on the go. That's how most people enjoy it, I do believe. Or you can listen to it directly from Spreaker. YouTube, it's All Metal Mode. A lot of different ways to find it. If you listen to the show and you like it, please let your friends know. We would appreciate it. Help spread the word. We'd really appreciate that. So, so let's bring Dave on and see how Dave's doing.
Good evening, mon ami. How are we?
I am great, Dave.
Good. Been a busy old week. I've got back to work. I've been gigging. I've had all sorts going. I have some good news. Hopefully, I'll be able to release that in the near future. First and foremost, Mike, I'd just like to put out there, unfortunately, one of the friends of the show and one of the lead figures in UK metal detecting, Julian Evan Hart, unfortunately, had a bit of an illness turn this week, and he's in hospital currently. So on behalf of the Archaeology Metal Detecting Magazine, All Metal Mode UK, podcast readers and listeners of both, and of course ourselves, we hope Julian makes a speedy recovery.
Absolutely.
Get back out there as soon as he can.
We had him on the show, and just a wonderful person. A lot of respect for that guy. Matter of fact, I tell the story. Our first podcast, or well, actually, second one, but first one where Dave was involved. He was at Detectivall last year, and I didn't know, but he was. I called him. It was like 6 a.m. here. I get up, I make a cup of coffee. I'm still getting woke up. I think I'm just talking to Dave, and he's handing the phone off to all these well-known people in the metal detecting community, and I'll be honest, being here in the United States, don't judge me. I'm sorry, I never heard of Julian, and Dave gives him the phone, and we start talking, and instantly, I'm in my head. It's like, I got to get this guy on, and I mean no disrespect to anybody that I talked to that day. I talked to some great people. Julian, for me personally, was the most impressive person. Just what we ended up talking about was incredible. If you haven't listened to it, I highly suggest going back. I believe the show's entire. It's our second show live from Detectivall. What a fun thing to do, Dave. I had so much fun doing that and getting to talk to him. And then we also, just a few months ago, we had Julian on, correct?
We certainly did. Yes, indeed.
I mean, I know we did. I just wasn't.
Fantastic guest.
Yeah. I mean, I knew we had him on. I just wasn't sure when. My days run together with this crazy kids and stuff. But yeah, he was a wonderful guy.
If people do want to listen to that and pop on, it was the 14th of March this year, and they can go onto the Spreaker account that they're listening to. Obviously, All Metal Mode Tonight. They will find past episodes and not went very far down at all is Julian Evan Hart. So well worth a listen, and obviously we look forward to him to getting back to full health so he can come on again, and we've multiple more questions to ask him.
Well, where can they find last week's show that you did?
Right, last week's show that I did, basically, obviously we've had a few technical issues. Mike's computer went down last week, so thankfully, Andy Denny, one of the guests, he stuck with me for a little while because I had to suss it all out. But ourselves, we've got a Spreaker account, which we do the Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine newscast from, which is it was supposed to be weekly, but it became semi-regular due to work commitments and such like. So we produce that, obviously, from our own Spreaker account. So I spent a good half hour trying to connect to Skype so we could speak to Andy, and we had a good chat. Fair play, very, very interesting. Found out a lot about what work he's doing down south and the work with the ground penetrating radar and such like that he's got. So thank you very much, obviously, to Andy for bearing with me last week and being able to put something out. You can find that obviously on our. Well, the best place to find it would be searching for the Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine, either the .com, which halfway down the homepage, there's an embedded version of the conversation. Also, on YouTube or via the Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine Spreaker page. Now, thankfully, as I said, we've set this up now to as a fallback option as well. So if there are issues, obviously you're in America, Mike, you're early in the morning when you're doing the show. So if something goes down, you've not necessarily got the time to be able to fix it, as we know. So just in case, for the future reference, hopefully we won't need to, but just in case, we've got now got a backup option where we can pop over to my account, and obviously Mike and everyone will let everybody know where we can that this is taking place, and we'll have the show. Obviously, it will more or less be myself, as you've got the issues in America, but we'll work from that basis. So hopefully, we won't be letting any shows go missing a week or so.
Right.
So
and then
we've got that set up now.
Another thing I wanted to say last week. Here's a funny story on top of my computer issues. Steph left to go get a new phone. That morning, her phone just shut down. She was looking at it. Her sister sent her a picture, and her phone just gone, black.
Do you know, Mike, I was really expecting to say that you'd applied for a sex change then.
No, not yet. I'm working on it. It's really hard in the United States to get those. It's really hard. That can never happen because I would just stay home all day and play with myself. I'm going to be honest with you, Dave. But anyhow.
Would you keep the beard?
What's that?
Keep the beard.
Yeah, because my beard, you got to run. I always run my finger through. That's like when I'm nervous or something or stressed. That's like my stress relief. So, yeah, I would just be.
All sexy time.
Yeah. So, anyhow, Steph took my phone. Steph took my phone. She had my phone with her because I didn't need it. I'm doing a podcast. So my computer was down. I couldn't reach out to Dave or anybody. It was stressing me out big time, but we're not going to have that issue again like that, at least not anytime soon. But I did want to say, I got to be honest, Dave, I haven't listened to them all, but your Spreaker, the news you do on there is awesome, and I would recommend anybody. Usually they're 10 or 15 minutes long, right?
Yeah, obviously last week it was classed as an Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine newscast special, with the inclusion of Mr. Denny. So that's, I think it's about half an hour long, that one. So I didn't do, Mike, obviously, because I wasn't sure exactly what was going to happen. I actually did it as a pre-recorded as opposed to a live version as well. Okay. But as I say, in the future, hopefully we're going to be able to go live on there and work that way.
And I'd like to get those guys on real soon. I don't know if you or Luke set that up, but I'd like to get those guys back on. I felt horrible. I couldn't even reach out to them and tell them, till last minute they're waiting on me, and I don't even have my phone to send them a Facebook message or anything. But I'd sure like to get those guys on and try again here soon. We could separate the show out or have them both on again at the same time, whatever you think. The link to it, I can't do it right now. If somebody can jump out to Spreaker, and you're already out at Spreaker, and just type in Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine, I would suspect. Or how do they find it? Can somebody drop a link for us?
Exactly what you've done. Well, what I'm doing now, I'll put the link on the tonight's show's link on chat room, and I'll put the link on for Craig Denny's episode from last week. So I've just done that now.
I know that's kind of fallen off, but Dave, I think you should keep at it, man, and you'll get more and more listeners. It's a great thing. I think that's a brilliant idea, and it's going really good. So,
well, I've obviously got a lot to do on it, Mike, because of potential future engagement, shall we say. I have, hopefully, myself, as of next week, let's say, the quality of the sound that's coming from me will be a little bit clearer, because instead of using the gaming headset that I'm generally on, I've invested in the mixer and the proper microphone. So as of next week, hopefully quality will get a little bit better on my behalf.
You already sound great, but yeah, that's awesome. That's a great thing. What's on the agenda tonight? We're just going to ramble. No,
Yeah.
We've got That's Brad. He's a magnet fisher. Is that how you say it? He does magnet fishing. Let's say it like that. That sounds better to me. And we're going to talk to him, and a great guy. We've been talking to him, before the show. And I know right before our last scheduled show, I've had to cancel on him twice due to issues. He sent me a picture of probably the coolest stuff I've ever seen found magnet fishing. But we'll let him talk about that. Dave, do you got any more news or anything? I'm sorry.
Briefly, Mike, there's been some quite substantial archaeological finds in the UK in the last week. The biggest regarding metal detecting came out about a week ago. The biggest ever treasure trove of Roman coins found in the UK.
Whoa, I missed that.
Back in 2017 over in Lincolnshire. But going back to AD 307. And they find, I think there's 3,000 copper alloy coins that have been examined by the British Museum. So there's images of that, which obviously I'll share the newspaper stories on the chat room as well. Second up today, the lost bones of Queen Emma, who ruled England 1,000 years ago, were found in Winchester Cathedral, where she walked on a hot iron to disprove affair with the bishop. And apparently these bones have been found within a casket and are going to be examined DNA-wise, etc., to find out anything else. Queen Emma is known for marrying 2 English kings, and I'm giggling because you'll tell why in a minute. The first, Ethelred, and then Canute, spells C-N-U-T, not C-U-N-T. Next up... ancient Romans used molten iron to repair the streets before Vesuvius erupted over in Pompeii. Nice little story there from Live Science. In the UK, again, we've had quite a substantial Anglo-Saxon find behind a Lidl, if I'm right in remembering that, a supermarket in the UK. Basically, an Anglo-Saxon royal burial site. It's gone on display for the first time. All the information's come out about that. It's basically been called the Tutankhamun of the UK, close to an Anglo-Saxon cemetery. So all very exciting there as well. Myself, Mike, last week, I helped out at school. My 6-year-old was doing a pirate project. So... I agreed with the teacher to do some form of little metal detecting hunt for the children, and they were absolutely loved it. Only problem was, in the morning I went, I buried 6 items, so I was splitting in the children into 2 teams, Team A and Team B. So the 6 different locations, they'd go to spot A, find it off the map that I made for them. We'd find the find with a clue in it for the next one. Carry on to that, find that, carry on to the end one, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, out of the 6 that are buried, I could only find 3. They absolutely adored it. It spurred so much interest in history from the children that the teacher actually sent me 4 bottles of rather nice ale.
So nice.
I've had one. It was also a Sadler's Mud City Stout, which is a brewery in the UK. So it was very nice. So,
I don't mean this to be rude, but when you talking about you doing something at school, instantly in my head I picture Chris Farley with a bunch of shenanigans, but a lot more cussing. More cussing.
Yeah, probably right. Yes, I'm about the same robust size as Mr. Farley.
Yeah, that's what the instant picture I get. Exactly. Hey, Dave, I did a show Monday night on the USA podcast that you're going to want to listen to. He's actually become a regular. Dorian Cook.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Dorian Gray then.
Dorian Cook here in the United States. He's been detecting since like 1972. He worked for Garrett for about 3 years. A couple of the old timers, I'm talking been doing it since the 60s or 70s, have told me that Dorian is the best relic hunter they've ever met. This guy is full of information. He's done biblical archaeology. And I believe 7 different countries, and he's just a wealth of information. But we did out of place archaeology the other night, and boy, did he bring up a lot of different stuff. And this next week, I'm not sure Monday or Tuesday yet. He's gonna be on the show doing biblical archaeology, and something I wanted to talk to you about, not on air, but I'm going to go ahead while we're talking. I thought about getting him on the show, having him instead do it on the UK show. He's retired. He's 72. As long as he's free, he would be more than happy to. I think the listeners, although he's an American bloke, I think would enjoy him talking about, especially about the biblical archaeology.
Marvelous.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyhow, let's get to the show. Poor Brad's probably just, heck, he might have fell asleep by now. Listen to us ramble on. Mostly me.
And me a little bit. Brad, are you awake?
Oh, is that my cue? Hello.
So do you want to go ahead and get it out?
Good evening, Brad. How are you?
Hello. I'm fine. Hope you two are doing well. Even though we just kind of chatted before the show, but
yep.
No, we didn't. Now you're spoiling the magic.
Oh yeah, no. This is legit. First time we're speaking. Honest.
So, Brad's a little bit concerned that he's going to let something, a dirty word or a swear word phrase fly, and I think he should just get it out of the way, don't you, Dave? Just let it fly, and then we don't have to worry about it. Or
absolutely.
Fuck's sake, really?
That's the end of the show now, isn't it? Because you said you'll only do it, but you'll only end the show when he said it.
Yep. No. We got a lot to go here, guys. We got a lot to go. People in the chat are, hi, I'm here to support Bradders. Scott says, what's up, Brad? Hope you're well.
Hey, what's up?
Got a question for you already. Who how did you get started into magnet fishing? From Aaron. We love South Coast Detecting.
Yeah. I was going to say, shall I introduce myself and how we got started?
Yeah, absolutely.
So my name is Michael Bradley, a.k.a. That's Brad off YouTube. The whole reason why I got started magnet fishing was because I made YouTube videos, and one day I was really ill. I had a salivary stone stuck in my saliva duct, so it swelled up the side of my neck, which was pushing onto my windpipe. So I couldn't do anything, and me being me, I needed to get out and film a video. So I had a magnet and some rope, and I thought, what's going to take the least effort? So I tied the magnet to the rope and chucked it in my local canal. That video got 60,000 views, and then I thought, oh, wait a minute. So I did it again, and again, and again, and that's how I kind of got started.
That's pretty cool.
Do you travel far, or is it just your general area in the northwest that you participate in magnet fishing?
I try to travel all over the UK. At the minute, my money issues are a bit tight, so paying for petrol to travel around is a bit of an issue at the minute. But I mean, like, if I can, I will go anywhere in the UK to do it.
Mm-hmm. So what
consequence as well?
Marvelous. We'll have a chat about the magnet fishing, and we'll get on to that. What have you found anything of consequence? Magnet fishing.
What do you mean?
Well, obviously, you know, there's in the UK we've seen a lot of videos of people bringing up World War II ornaments. We've seen
right. Yeah.
motorbikes. We've seen safes, etc., etc.
Yeah, well, I found all of them. I found plenty of motorbikes, and I pulled my back out plenty of times trying to lift them out the canal. I found a hand grenade. It was a World War One style hand grenade. Bomb Squad took that off me. Recently, in fact, it was a few weeks ago, I found 3 guns, 3 handguns, revolvers, 2 swords, and a machete.
Wow.
And one of the swords was a copy of a Roman gladiator.
In the same location?
All in the same location.
So potentially there's crime related to them, maybe?
Yeah, the police kind of think it was because obviously the police have took the guns off me because of UK firearm laws. They think it might have been somebody's, what's the word? Like
stash.
Historic stash type thing that got robbed out of the house. And obviously when they found out that they can't get bullets and stuff for these type of guns anymore because they were antiques, they just dumped them in the canal.
With you.
That's what they think anyway.
Cool find nonetheless.
Mate, I was, like, if you watch the video, it's on my YouTube, that's Brad. I am in shock finding these. I mean, seriously. I was about to have a heart attack.
That is cool.
You'd think these criminals would wise up a bit now, wouldn't you? I mean, last year up in Salford, where they found all the modern day weapons all bagged up and what have you, you'd think, that's interesting. All these magnet fishes going out and finding everybody's weapon. I think we'll move them and bury them somewhere else.
Yeah,
but still, they're being found.
But they're still doing it. I mean, like, there's actually a hotspot near me. I'm not giving away location because it's mine.
Right, I wouldn't give that up.
It's mine. And I call it a hotspot because every time I go, there's something new. And I mean, like, obviously it's not been in there long because I've cleared it out like 2 months before, and then I go back 2 months later. And, the last time I went there, I found a Kosh, crossbow, knife, machete, all in that spot, and they were all really clean because they've just been dumped.
Yeah.
Within the last month or so. So, I mean, like, people are still doing it. Still dumping stuff.
You would think the cops would stake that out because obviously somebody's, I don't know, you know what I mean?
As much as they get a webcam up.
Yeah, right. Watch these guys throwing stuff in. That's crap. Sometimes when we're doing the podcast and we get to talk to all these great people, I get to talk to all these great people over there and over in England and stuff. And I think, we're so not different. But then, like, when something comes up about guns, I mean, everybody here has guns. I mean, it's almost as like, you got a car? Yeah, well, you got guns. And I know the media portrays it as something horrible, but for as many guns are in this country, I think we have very few problems. I mean, I read something, it's probably been a year or so ago where murders was topped in London, had topped New York. One of the most dangerous cities in our country, without a doubt. And it just, I don't know. It's strange to me when you guys talk about guns and, you can't, I don't know. That's strange to me. Just had to bring that up. Sorry.
Yeah, we do have some pretty strict laws regarding weaponry. It's not just guns, though. I mean, like, it's all sorts of stuff. That includes knives as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have some really strict weapons laws. But I mean, like, you get by it. There's loopholes. I shouldn't say that.
Right.
What would be, in Scott Hargood's words, your craziest find?
Them guns. Come on. It's got. If you've seen the video, Scott, it's got to be them guns. I mean, like, I found safes with money in and stuff like that, but to me, in my eyes, those guns and swords were my craziest, most epic, best find ever.
Mad. I'd love to find something like that. I've been out a couple of times, and all I've found with me magnets is old bits of canal, and that's about it.
Rusty nails.
Yeah, little and absolutely. Look, my little lad absolutely adores it. Tells all his friends in school. I've done a couple of videos with him because obviously kids love videos, and he's talk of the class when we've done them.
Well, there's actually a bit of a trick to it. I mean, like, it's. I would say it's kind of a bit like metal detecting. You know how you do the research on the area and find certain locations, stuff like that. It's the same with magnet fishing. I mean, before I go anywhere, I've searched the area, I've searched the map, I've checked the best spots. I mean, like, you've got to think like a criminal as well, so which is the most secluded road.
Dave's good. He should be right in there.
You got find the most secluded road that goes over a stretch of canal or river. So yeah, there is a lot of research that goes into it. Sometimes it's luck. Sometimes it's just like, I can't think of anywhere to go, and then you just do a random finger point on the map, and it's like, all right, there's a canal near there. I'll go there.
That's funny.
Well, yeah.
Aaron wants to know if you're the first magnet fisher on YouTube.
If I was?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay.
Aqua Chigger and Nugget Noggin, I believe, were the first ones. I would say I was one of the first UK ones. I like to say that it was because of me that made it popular, but I know some people would disagree with that. But I was the first one of the first UK ones, and since then, magnet fishing has exploded here in the UK.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it's really funny because I rarely get the opportunity to sit down and actually watch a video of any kind, but if I come across one that's magnet fishing, I won't even give it a chance unless it's somewhere in the UK, because here in the United States, I've learned you watch them, it's like, oh, I found these rusty pliers. I found this, the finds here overall are pretty, I don't know why most of them do it. They're finding just pretty much garbage. Over there
same here.
But you guys also find some really cool stuff, and I'm sure there's stuff here to be found and some really cool relics and stuff. But it just seems like you guys have so much history, so much more history, and so much more opportunities.
Yeah, it's like the canals are some of them are over 200-300 years old.
Yeah,
and I mean, like, I know it's metal and metal rusts, but if there's sediment in the bottom, and say a gun went under that sediment, there's no oxygen. It ain't going to rust as much. So there is a possibility that you're going to, get something that's really old coming out. I mean, like, I found, what year was it? It was 1946. No, it weren't 1946. 1942 Nazi coin. It was in
Reichspfennig.
It was in an old cigarette tin, which was all engraved with someone's initials. Don't know who, but I mean,
Do you know, bizarrely, the only German coin that I've found is a 1942 Reichspfennig.
That's funny.
Well, the area where I found that, there was a rumor that an old guy, before he passed away, dumped all his World War II memorabilia, that he collected from fighting overseas in World War II, and dumped them in the canal before he passed away. So obviously, me being me, were a magnet, decided to go look for it, and I managed to find like one thing, but I mean, I didn't find anything else other than rust. A lot of rust.
That's pretty crazy. What would? So probably your coolest finds the guns and stuff. Have you found anything like really bizarre, really weird?
Oh man, you're making me think here.
That's what we do. We make you swear.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, make me swear, make me think. I'm not good at thinking. Right. Oh, bizarre finds. Do you know, I really can't remember any.
Well, if something comes to you. Dave, I sent you a message. Hey, I'll be right back.
Okie dokie. Don't know where you sent the message, but no worries.
Oh, okay. All right.
Crack on.
Oh, just
So,
me, Dave.
it certainly is. Metal detecting. How long have you been doing that then?
So, my metal detecting has been like off and on for the past year. I was getting really frustrated with it because, well, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I mean, like, you watch videos like Digger Dawn and stuff like that, and it looks dead easy. You know, just get a metal detector and go swing it above some grass. You know. It's a lot harder than it looks.
It certainly is.
Yeah, I mean, like, getting to know the readings and getting to know your machine. I mean, like, wow. I was not expecting it to... I mean, like, I probably sound like an idiot. But when it comes to technical stuff, I'm a no-go with that, so...
Honestly, listeners will be able to tell you I'm completely the same. We talk about it and chuckle about it quite often. That's why if it's a technical show, like next week when we've got the Deep Tech on, Mike will do the show, not me. So what machine are you using, Brad?
I currently use a Garrett Ace 250. It has a DD... Oh, God, I don't know what size. A DD coil on it, a big one. I've had lots of help from lots of people. Loads of people in the YouTube community helping me out, giving me settings ideas, and to set the machine at. I've had... like when I go to clubs, I go to a club called the Hyde Burnham Ribble Valley Metal Detectorist Club.
Yeah, John Ferguson.
Yeah,
yeah.
John. I go to there a lot, and I must say, I've been on quite a few club digs with other clubs, and they are by far the best. I mean, like, as soon as I got out my car, John took my machine off me and set it up for me. I went, here you go, you should be able to find stuff now. And, it, no one else, no other clubs helped me with that. So, I mean, like, that club has been amazing to me.
Yeah.
And it's a good laugh as well. You meet up with your friends, you just go digging. It's great. You have a laugh. And I think that's, I mean, like, the archaeological side to it and the history, I love history, but the friendship and the laugh and the banter, I think that's a big part of why I like metal detecting. I think I'm magnet fishing really because you go out with your friends doing that as well. So
yeah,
I think it's a real good. What's the word? Like a good way to bring people together.
Good community.
yeah, good community. It's great. I love it.
I
You
don't know
get
if you have
other
any
stuff.
thoughts on going to Detectable, but honestly, it's obviously a much bigger thing than just going to your local digs and whatnot. You know, we're talking 1,000 people there, but I was gobsmacked at the community spirit there last year. It was, you know, I've been to music festivals. I've never been to a metal detecting festival, and it was brilliant. The amount of people that I met and the amount of people I'm friends with now on Facebook, from Rick Lacanda in America, to lads from France, to, you know, people who I speak solely on the internet to, on Facebook, to actually meeting in the flesh. Fantastic. And that goes for all metal detecting events, but I wanted the Detectable, it was just something else. Very profound.
I am actually going to Detectiveville in September.
Marvellous. I'll see you there.
Yeah, I'll be there. All kitted out in my That's Brad stuff, so I get recognised. Yeah, so I feel famous. But no, yeah, I'm going in September. It'll be my first time. Again, that was because of videos, you know, seeing people having a good time and stuff. And
so how long have you actually been metal detecting now then?
Oh, well, like I said, it's been like a year, but it's been off and on. But I would say trying here, trying to give it a good go. The past 4 months, I've been like proper on it, you know.
What detector are you using? I'm sorry if Dave asked and I missed it.
You missed it? He's not telling you now.
Oh, you're not repeating it. I gotcha.
It's a That's Brad special. It's homemade. I made it myself. It reaches about 25 feet down. I use a Garrett Ace 250 with DD coil.
I didn't catch it. Did you say the Ace 250?
Yeah, Garrett Ace 250.
I got you. Good deal.
With a DD coil. Which, do you know, I think it's a really good machine to get started with. I mean, like, I would still class myself as a starter. And I think it's really good. I'd say it's easy to use, but it's hard to use.
Did you say hard to use?
Yeah, well, I had no clue what I was doing.
Oh, yeah, it takes time. You'll just keep swinging, you'll get it. Listen for that double beat. Each swing, you know, when you swing left to right, that's my biggest thing I tell people when they're starting out. Of course, you're past that. But when you first hand a detector, you know, you want a good, repeatable signal.
Yeah. Yeah, true. But sometimes, I mean, like, as a complete beginner, you can't tell.
Right.
Yeah, it really, the amount of iron I dug first was unbelievable. I was actually starting to think I was going to start getting the nickname Iron Man. Yeah. I was digging that much up. But yeah, I know what I'm doing now, so.
That's good. Have you, I'm sorry if Dave asked us why I was gone. I apologize. Have you made any good finds yet?
Metal detecting, I've found old coins and pretty much that's it. Nothing really amazing. I mean, like, to me, I was buzzing when I found my first old coin. I was absolutely buzzing because before that it was just a lot of junk and moo tubes and stuff like that. So yeah, when I got that first solid coin,
did you kind of become addicted then?
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was saying to Dave, the metal detecting community is more the reason why I kind of do it because of it. I mean, like, it's just ace. Everyone gets on, and you don't get stuff like that in other sports. Yeah, I think it's more the community side of it why I like to do it. obviously, I love the history and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
well, that's how I see it. So
yeah, I, looking back, even though it's been over 20 years, I remember the first time I found something decent. It's just like instantly just hooked.
Yeah, proper buzzing. Yeah. I mean, like, I was screaming when I found that coin. I mean, like, the coin was so eroded that you couldn't even tell what it was, but it was a coin.
Right. Wasn't another MooTube.
No MooTube. It was round. So,
really
yeah,
cool.
I was buzzing. I think somebody... a guy called AT Prozac, his YouTube. He was with me when I found it, and I think he filmed me buzzing because I didn't film that bit because I weren't like I was too busy buzzing.
So do you get out often then? More metal detecting and magnet fishing, or a bit of both, or is the one that you do more than the other now?
What I like to try and do is alternate. So when I'm off work, so when I'm off the weekend, one weekend I will do magnet fishing, and one weekend I will do metal detecting, and then alternate, on a weekly basis like that. That way I can keep up with both of what I like doing. Currently, at the moment, in February, I had surgery on my toe, and going out metal detecting and walking 10, 20 miles, whilst metal detecting, my foot wasn't healing. And after the end of each dig, my wellies would be full of blood, because obviously it's not healing and it's leaking out whilst I'm walking.
Oh.
So I've currently put a stop to metal detecting whilst I heal up, because the walking was, it was splitting the wound open. So, but I mean, like, it's scabbed over now, so it started the healing process. So that's good news for me.
See, the other benefit you've got, Brad, if you go onto a site that you are metal detecting, it has some form of water course. You can utilize both skills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I actually want to start doing that. I mean, like, obviously with this, what's it called, River Hunters, that's on TV.
Yeah.
I've never watched it. I don't watch TV, so. But everyone's buzzing about that. But before that came on, I actually wanted to do something like that. Getting in the river with a metal detector.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I tried it a year ago. So I want to start doing that. Obviously, I've got to wait for this bloody foot to heal before I start getting in water. Getting in water. But yeah, I want to do that. I want to get in with my magnets, metal detector, go find some river stuff if there's anything left.
Well, I think one of the issues, obviously, to discuss on the show is obviously permission. I personally would have thought that, just going to a site and to a river and, getting in the river and doing what we do would be fine and dandy, but they're always talking about permissions in the certain rivers. So obviously that's something else we'd have to look into doing that.
Yeah, I mean, like, before the show came out, I was looking into it, and I believe that, like, near historic sites and stuff like that, sometimes the river is protected under the historic site. So doing places like there where obviously you're bound to find something, that's a protected area, so that's also a no-go.
Right.
Most rivers, people don't really bat an eyelid. It's all right. It depends on the history of the place, if it's protected or not. I mean, like, you can do your research on it and find out. I mean, And also, some parts of rivers are owned privately, which I didn't know about until a year ago. And you have to get the permission of who actually owns the river. I've got some permissions for rivers up in Lancashire. So, yeah, I mean, it's the same with metal detecting. Just got to ask. Ask and get the permission.
Finding out the landowner or the water owner, and then again the other one. Obviously, there's been a suggestion that British Waterways don't want magnet fishers participating in that sport. Would it be the same when it comes to rivers and what have you? Would there be a certain similarity with issues there?
The thing with rivers, it's the freshwater mussels. So, I mean, like, if you disturb them, you can get a hefty fine.
Yeah.
Or even imprisonment, So, again, that's research. But regarding the laws about magnet fishing, that's what you're on about is the bylaw for canals, which in their bylaw states that you are not allowed to remove or dredge for any items in the canal.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, as I actually got kicked off BBC for this. I pointed out to them whilst we were live on a radio show that in their same bylaws that says that about 3 lines above it, it says you are not allowed to drive or ride a vehicle of any kind along the towing path. And I pointed out how a bicycle is classed as a vehicle, and they promote riding it along the tow path.
Yeah.
So yeah, they weren't happy that I pointed that out.
Hey Dave, how many Brad? How many shows have you done? Any other radio or anything? I feel like, I guess that doesn't even matter. But Dave, I feel like we got to throw him off. We got to end the show by throwing him off, don't you?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, great!
I mean, we don't want to,
guard.
Yeah, we want to keep things going for you. Keep it right.
Well, I'll tell you what. If he swears, we'll kick him off.
Yay!
That's fun.
Well, before if that happens, make sure I get to do my little prize giveaway, for your show.
In all honesty, it would take a lot for us to throw you off. You're good. We're not like that. We're not.
Yeah, I'm still here after about 6 months. So
yeah,
we must be that bad.
Give me the opportunity, and I can go there. Trust me.
That's funny. The giveaway, I completely forgot. How do we want to do that?
Well, I will be posting it out my own money. So if the UK, that'll be a lot easier for me.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, tonight's the UK show anyway, so that shouldn't be an issue.
No. Only to UK listeners. Yeah, of course. Don't want you to have to ship it here to the United States or anything.
Oh man, if I shipped it to the United States, it'll cost me a lot of money.
Right. Lay Hall just said, been listening for months from episode 1, all caught up now, so I thought I'd listen live. Well, glad to have you, Lay. It's a pleasure to see you in the chat. So,
is there still any of my viewers watching? If they've got any questions, I don't mind answering.
Yeah, you got a lot of people in the chat, and Andy asked, do you prefer magnet detecting or magnet fishing?
Ooh, that's a good question. Do you know? I prefer them both. Like, equally, because I mean, like, I love magnet fishing. I love getting out down by the river or canal in nature, seeing it all, and I'm always pulling stuff up, so it always feels like I'm finding something, But the metal detecting, again, I'm out in the fields or wherever I am, enjoying the nature. But although the finds are very fewer, the buzz from finding the finds are just as much as from the magnet fishing. So, yeah, that's a really hard one to. That's a really hard one to answer.
Yeah, I can understand. I think as you get better at metal detecting too, I think that'll. I'm not saying you'll like it more or anything, but I think you'll definitely, as your skills increase and stuff, it'll even be better. There's some.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. For me here in the United States, it's something I've thought about doing, but I just don't know that it would be worth my time and effort for the most part. But we just don't have the history. And when I watch the videos of magnet fishing here in the United States, the majority of them, it's really, old pair of pliers that are rusted shut, and fishing hooks and different things like that. But, like I said, when I watch your guys, it's a totally different thing. And although there are some places that I would like to try, but I just, it's a little different here. But so for me, I would have to say metal detecting, but not that matters, does it, Dave?
Not at all.
Nobody wants to know what Mike prefers.
Yeah. Mike, what do you prefer?
Dave, I'm curious. You've done both. What do you prefer?
Probably metal detecting. Magnet fishing. I like the concept of magnet fishing, but I've not done it enough. I can understand what I'm looking for with obviously a metal detector. We know I'm a complete technophobe when it comes to metal detecting, but don't get me wrong, it's nice to do it, to participate, to have a go with the magnet fishing, and it's exciting. When I find something of consequence, something that I know what it is, something that's not just a rusty bit of iron or an old bolt, then I think that will up the ante with that a little bit. But for me, it's also the relaxation, the therapeutic nature of metal detecting, the switching off and honing into the land and the noises of the birds and doing what you're doing. That gives me a lot of therapy, so I'd go with that personally. Not taking away the magnet fishing. I do like magnet fishing. It's something I could do with a little. I know I could go metal detecting with him, but he's 6 and he doesn't necessarily swing properly, and you have to keep an eye on him every 5 minutes. Where he's magnet fishing, we can do it together. So I think that's why I like the magnet fishing.
I was just about to say. I mean, like, if I took my son metal detecting, he's just like me. His attention span ain't long enough. But with magnet fishing, I mean, like, even if it's a bit of rust to them, that's a treasure in it. That's still
yeah. I mean, all them coins that I buried for the school last week, it was only 2p's that I sprayed gold, and the kids were absolutely made up with them. They thought it was gold. They didn't see the 2p. They didn't see what was underneath the paint. So
yeah, I mean, like, magnet fishing, it's more like, well, with metal detecting, your finds are far and few between. Well, for me they are. But I mean, like, you've got to walk a lot, haven't you, and do a lot of walking and stuff like that, and until you eventually find something good. Whereas with magnet fishing, I mean, like, to a child, a piece of rust is treasure. So I think magnet fishing is more of a family event. Would you say? Yeah, more
Yeah.
like a family event. You know, it's
I can see
easy.
that.
The kids can do it.
It's just like if you go to New Brighton in the summer, all the kids are lined up with string and some bacon catching crabs. It's exactly the same. But they're bringing stuff out. They're bringing. Do you know, I done a car boot sale a couple of weeks ago. You'll know it in Chelford and near Knutsford. And a woman came to the stall and it's fantastic. There's a certain thing I was selling. And she said, that's actually a toy perfect for children with, what is it? ADHD and such like. So I was that's dead interested, that. And the little lad she was with obviously had ADHD, and he was absolutely beside himself. He found, all it was a cheap gemstone on the table, and I mean a cheap gemstone. And he's like, Mum, can I have it? And I said, yeah, have it, mate. Have it. It's only 50p thing. Don't worry. You have it, mate. Anyway, his dad said to me, he collects them all. Everything he gets like this, he throws on a car boot sale. Little gems and that, he takes home because he's got autism, not ADHD, sorry, autism. He's got a chest there that you see, you know, a proper like pirate's chest, and he's filled it with fake coins, old gemstones, anything that he can lay his hand off, and religiously every night he gets that out and plays with all his gemstones and that.
Yeah.
So that's the concept of it.
Things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that is
Fantastic.
so cool. We need to, Dave, we need to ask our listeners to add to his collection, I think. How cool would that be?
Well, I wouldn't know who he was, Mike, obviously. You know, it was just somebody in passing, but, you know, okay. If I'd have had, I keep all my archaeology and metal detecting, obviously not me metal detector itself, but all the kits I use for archaeology and metal detecting are permanently in the car. So there's generally a box with, you know, you throw it in the car bits. And if I'd had that with me, if not, obviously taking everything out to put the car boot sale in, then I'd have give him loads. But unfortunately, I didn't.
Yeah, it happens.
Hearing you say that, I'm so glad I'm not the only one. My car's full of crap that I found.
Dude, I've picked my bag up before, a rucksack, more or less a brand new rucksack, and opened it, and there's a bloody back end of a cartridge shell in there.
I've got a pickup truck with a toolbox in the bed, and it's pretty full of junk, and about once a year I'll take buckets of junk out and throw it in the trash. But yeah, I think we all do. I mean, if you're a detectorist and you don't have a bunch of junk laying on your dash or in your toolbox or somewhere.
Yeah, I'm the same. My car's full, my shed is full.
My shed's full of bits of lead in a bucket. Because every so often when I get a full bucket, I'll go and weigh it in and put the money into the group funds. So when we have Tempest meetings, I run a group in Congleton, Tempest Archaeology and Metal Detecting. So we do have a meeting. Everybody brings a lead, goes in the bucket. Job's a good one.
I've actually got a car boot full of lead from what I found on whilst detecting. I've got it in a Santa hat.
Honestly, you wouldn't believe, you know, the normal orange buckets that would be from B&Q that you find on all when on the organised rallies. A full one of them, you're talking 50, 60, 70 quid.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's just old
my car.
Looked at me like, what's this you brought? Lead? I'm like, yeah, it's lead. So why does it look like that? Metal detectorists dig it up all over the place. One of the members of the group, actually, Colin, he actually makes his own musket balls because he does a bit of reenactments or what have you. So he takes loads of the decent lead, he takes it, melts it down, and makes his own musket balls.
Guys, real quick, I want to get caught up with a few things here. Aaron has a question. Aaron, South Coast Detecting. Do you ever want to try mudlarking, or have you ever tried mudlarking on the Thames? Thames? How do you say that? Thames, right?
Thames.
I can't pronounce it either. River Thames, is it?
Yeah.
I do want to do it. I really do. Getting down to London is a bit of an issue for me at the minute, but I mean, like, I really want to get down there. I really want to do it. I mean, I'll be looking at someone to take me as a guide because I'll have no clue what I'm doing, like everything else.
Well, again, issues there when it comes down to the law. There's a chap on my friends list. He's a metal detectorist from Buxton, and he does a lot of videos himself. And he goes down religiously at least every other week to London. Drives down, goes down early, goes mudlarking. But you do need to have a license to be able to sort of participate in that. So,
yeah, you do.
But I mean, he lives in. I always thought it was going to be people who live local to the Thames who were going to actually get first refusal on licenses. But this is a guy from Buxton, and he's down there all the time. Fair play to him.
Yeah,
and some of his finds. Oh my! I've never seen as many clay pipes in my life as some of the images he puts on. Fantastic.
Yeah, that's what I really want. I really want one of them. Even if it's broke, I'd love to get one.
Yeah, they are so
I've got a full one with skull and crossbones on in my cupboard here.
Oh, man. I'd love to see a picture of that sometime, Dave.
Yeah, I'll send you one, no worries.
Scott Hargood said, I magnet fish with my 3 sons. That's really cool. He was commented earlier how when you talked about being a family thing. Aaron, South Coast Detecting, one of our good friends to the show, Addicted to Bleeps, uploaded a video saying how good metal detecting is for mental health. Very relaxing, therapeutic. I couldn't agree more. I got to get out and metal detect. You know, I'm with kids all day and taking phone calls for work, and we homeschool our little girl. My wife works a lot, and I have to escape and go metal detecting. It's Steph sometimes, if I'm having a bad day or, she knows I'm really stressful. I've had enough kids. She's like, you need to go metal detecting. You are a completely different person when you get back from metal detecting. So I agree. It's a wonderful thing. I just tune into those beeps.
That episode of Addicted to Bleeps with the mental health one, fantastic. We spoke about it with him on air, but the episode itself, absolutely, he's done a hell of a lot of research leading up to actually putting the video together. It's well worth watching.
I'm pretty caught up on his videos, on his reviews and stuff, and him trying out different detectors, but I haven't seen that one yet. I'll have to go out and watch it because that's, I'll tell you my own story. Years ago, I was in a really, I don't want to go into too much detail, a job that the facility was closing down. I had to go to a different facility if I wanted to stay with the company. I thought, yeah, no problem. I started having anxiety and panic attacks, which I didn't even think were real until I started experiencing them. I ended up in the hospital 5 times in 2 months, thought I was dying. It was bad. And it just, although I've got it under control now, I still have issues at times. They're very rare, but metal detecting was a savior for me. Getting out and just tuning into those sounds and listening and, glancing up and watching the birds and the wildlife and noticing that beautiful set of trees or whatever it is. And it's a huge thing for me.
Yeah, no, I completely get you. 2 years ago, I had a full-on mental breakdown. I mean, like, full-on. And I actually didn't tell anyone about it. What I did was I made a video, obviously, as you do as a YouTuber, about it all, about how I wanted to, I've got to say it quietly in case my son's listening, but saying how I wanted to die and stuff like that. And I ended up in hospital on the psychiatric ward and stuff. So I brought it all up in a video, and I'm crying in it, and snot pouring out my nose and everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, mental health, I mean, like, if anyone out there is suffering and you're listening now, I think the best thing to do, well, in my case, is talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Getting it.
And as a male as we are, we don't tend to do that. Predominantly, the show tonight will be listened to by males, and it is very hard. I've been there. I've been there myself. I didn't talk, and I bottled it up, and it didn't do me good bottling it up. It's the getting it out there. There's always somebody you can talk to. You might think there's people that you can't see, but somebody, and a lot of the time you will be surprised at the people you can get things off your test. Tell them how to think that, you know, it's also Mental Health Month at the moment. First and foremost, while we're talking about it, get onto Chris's video and have a look at that. But, you know, the Samaritans, Talk to Frank, they're all available. We all know how easy it is to get hold of things like that nowadays. And, you know, talk.
When mine hit and was so bad, yeah, man, it was bad. I tell people that don't understand, you know, like I said, when I'd heard that when they kept telling me it was anxiety, panic attacks, I just couldn't wrap my mind around that because I didn't believe in that. And I know that's horrible of me. You know, and I thought back about people who had said that kind of stuff. And you know, of course I was nice to them, but in my head, I just thought, you know, it was BS. I really did. And that's horrible of me. I know,
attention seeker.
But I'll tell you, when it happens to you, it was overwhelming. And I've never said this out loud, but, I've told a few close people, you know, I had suicidal thoughts, and it's not that it wasn't even depression. I was so miserable. I couldn't breathe. I would stay up for days at a time. I thought I was dying. I just thought I was, you know, there was nothing else, you know, I don't care what the doctor said. I was dying. And, you know, that it was so painful and so hard to deal with that I just thought, you know, my God, do I just wait to die or do I end it myself kind of thing? And I never got close to it. It was just thoughts. And luckily, through the help, you know, another thing I would say is go see a psychologist. I don't know what the healthcare system's like over there. And here, psychiatrists are in such high demand. You go there, you talk to them for 10 minutes, and they prescribe you pills. And that wasn't the route for me. I went and talked to a psychologist. It actually took me I went through 2 psychologists before I found one that really helped me. And, you know, I learned some of my triggers. And one of them is, you know, loud noises and stuff. Like, you know, being somewhere really busy and there's a lot of people talking. It's probably my number one trigger. And I have to, you know, through the help I received from my psychologist, I learned how to deal with that and how to remove myself out of those situations before it gets too out of control and stuff. And I do really good now. I mean, every few months I might find myself starting to get a little bit stressed, and I know how to take myself out of the situation or how to deal with it better. And I'll tell you, metal detecting, I was already a detectorist, but at that point, I literally I dragged myself out of the house to go metal detecting. And I mean, I would literally lock myself in a room for days and, you know, come out, you know, for food and go right back in and hide. And I dragged myself out, and it got to where I was going out almost every single day. And I didn't have to drag myself out anymore. And it helped me considerably. And it, you know, to this day, it's a big thing for me to get out and metal detect. And you know, now it's much different. I don't, you know, one thing I learned through a psychologist was, you know, she was constantly talking about 1 through 10, how bad is it? And I couldn't tell you the last time that I got as high as a 5. I've learned to control it and take myself out of situations and how to deal with it better. But, I might get to a 4 and Steph's like, hey, you need to go metal detecting. And I'll get out and I come back and I'm better. You got to find ways. We live in such a busy society where we got so much going on, you've got to find time for yourself, and maybe metal detecting isn't for you. Maybe, magnet fishing isn't. Find something to clear your mind and to, unwind, I don't know the right word I'm looking for there, Dave, but you guys get what I'm saying.
Well, it doesn't matter what it is. Find something, something you used to enjoy. It could be fishing, normal fishing. To get out and
for
sure. There's only one type of fishing.
I'm not going to say who, but I'm not going to throw their name out there. I don't know if that's, but somebody in chat said they suffer with mental health issues. And their son, well, that might kind of give away. Magnet fishing helps. Yeah, I agree 100%. Getting out and finding something to unwind, get away from traffic and vehicles and daily struggles in life, and just find something to clear your mind. And it's metal detecting's, almost it's more my meditation. It's my medication. Real quick, Andy said, Brad, don't forget to plug HARV, best club in Northwest.
Oh, I've already done it.
And while we're on the subject, did you not give the manner of the competition? Tonight's competition, Brad.
Oh, right. It's a 200 kg double-sided magnet, and it's been donated by onlinemagnets.co.uk. They're giving it me to give away on your show to a lucky viewer.
Oh, how awesome. So how are we going to do this? How do you want to do it?
Oh, well, I can't see the comments, so I can't pick. But if you want to, I don't know, tell you what.
I apologize. You told me this, and then we had to cancel twice, and I just completely forgot. What we should have done is done like a random name generator or something, and done it on.
That was
Facebook.
it. That's what we were going to do, weren't it?
Yeah.
Well, how about a number? They could say a number in the comments. I pick a number, and then
since you're not in there,
let's not do that.
We could do that. That's okay.
Because some people pick twice. I mean, like, it might fall on. I'll let you do it randomly. How about that?
Well, I'm in chat. I can see what's going on. Dave, you got any ideas real quick?
I'm not in chat. I'm not in chat at all. I've just got Skype on.
Okay, how are we going to do this? Let's do this. It's not like we have a ton of people in chat. We've got it's a good little chat going night. Let's do 1 through 100. Everybody in the chat, and we'll let Dave or Scott said everyone call Dave Sadler at the same time. First person or first answer wins. Here's his number. Scott's acting like he's giving out your number on. No, just everybody throw a number.
All right. I never answer it normally anyway.
Right. Everybody throw out a number 1 through 100, and then one of the guys will just pick a random number, and whoever's closest will go with that. Let's do that. So if you're listening, well, let's give them a few minutes. If there's anybody listening and you're not in chat and you want to get in on this, somewhere, depending on what device you're on, you'll see a little chat bubble. It looks like a little cloud. Join in. People are already throwing numbers out there. Go ahead. They got numbers.
I've got it now at on my clock in front of me 21:20. So at 21:25, we will draw the winner.
Yep. So if you're not in chat but you're listening, jump in now and throw us a number out there so we got it.
I can't even enter myself here because I mean I have to go on.
Not fair,
I mean,
is
like,
it?
you're going to have to search through all the numbers.
That's Mike's
to
job.
use one.
Yeah, hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me get in here. You guys keep talking, but I'm talking to people in chat to hold on a second.
It's a good magnet, what can I say?
When are you out and about next, Brad?
I'll be out this Saturday. I'm out filming magnet fishing. Location, I do not know yet. Hopefully soon I'll be able to get back out metal detecting. Like I said, it's just waiting for this foot to heal. It's taken so long. I mean,
I didn't hear what happened to your foot. I apologize. What happened?
I had surgery on my foot. I had an ingrown. I had an ingrown toenail, but because I was a man and dead manly, I left it a year before I went and got it looked at.
Right.
So it got severely infected, and when they cut the toenail off, they had to remove some of my skin as well, and it's just not healed up. And because I was going out every week metal detecting, it was I weren't giving it a chance to heal. So yeah, I'm having a break from metal detecting whilst that heals.
Real quick, somebody asked 1 through what? 1 through 100. And then Scott says, what's his YouTube? Does he have one? Yes, Scott, he does have one, and that's Brad, correct?
Is that Scott Harrod?
No, Scott Dubay.
Oh, right. I was going to say.
Scott Hargid said, when we meeting up, Brad?
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, he knows my YouTube channel.
Yep. No, Scott
Dubay
Dubay.
Next time I'm down that way.
Very cool.
Well, I was supposed to be going out with my brother near Chester, magnet fishing, a couple of weeks ago, but unfortunately both of us weren't in any position to do that. But we've got the location historically mapped.
Well, if it's a river, be careful.
No, it's a canal.
Is it? I was going to say, because, I mean, like, what people get quite confused with is, rivers have rocks in, and rocks and a magnet on a piece of string, you're going to jam it in the rock and lose your magnet.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I've made videos to try and counteract getting stuck. Nothing's guaranteed, though, but, I mean, like, if, people that do go magnet fishing, just remember there is rocks in rivers. The amount of times I get messages saying, I've lost it in the river. I'm like, well, there is big rocks there.
Real quick, guys.
My brother is a fisherman, so knows this location for its history from fishing, basically. So,
Right.
maybe sometimes it is a good idea to know people who go fishing.
Yeah.
Real quick here, we've got 1 minute until we do this. If you don't have it in, your number in, give it to us. If you're not in chat, get in chat and get in on this real quick.
Can I just say again, thank you to onlinemagnets.co.uk for
Absolutely
giving me this to give away.
I assume that's who's
yeah.
I would guess that's the magnet you use.
I currently use a magnet from Online Magnets. It's not this specific one. This one's the 200 kg.
Mm-hmm.
But I use the 500 kg. So technically mine can lift half a ton.
That'll get me up then.
So yeah, but again, that's from Online Magnets, and I mean,
Scott,
like, they're that
quit.
popular, they've sold out. So this is like the last one at the minute.
Scott Dubé's in chat just throwing out random numbers. I already got you down, Scott. No deal.
Yeah,
Right,
what
so
number?
it's 25 past.
Okay, so Brad, you're not in chat, so 1 through 100, pick a number.
33.
33.
Wrong.
Help me out, guys. Who won? I believe Scott Dubé won, but double check me. His very first I stuck with his very first one since he was joking, throwing all those out. He picked 27. Yeah, from my calculations, unless I missed somebody, he is at 33. He's 27. We've got 20, 84. Yeah, we don't have anything else close. So, Aaron South Coast.
Congratulations, Mr. Debay.
Aaron said. Aaron South Coast Detecting said pick again. That's funny.
I can pick again if you want until we get a number that's been said.
No. I said at the beginning the closest to that number.
Ah, right. Okay.
So let's stick with that. And yeah, so if my calculation's right, everybody please confirm that with me. I'd hate to give it away and then find out somebody else. But Scott said thanks for the giveaway. So nobody's commenting, so I must have been right. I did write everybody's down and double check though, so we should be good.
Scott Dubay. Is that correct?
Yes. Dubay. Senior.
Aaron South Coast Detecting said Andy's wife said 36. I don't see Andy's wife in here, and Andy put 20. Yeah, I'm sorry. You'd have to be in the chat. And I went with the first one, which was 20 that Andy said. Okay. Brad, well, we'll do Scott said, Brad, we'll do a collaboration pro magnet with a rookie. I think we all get strange thoughts in our head at times. And, Scott, my first thing in my head was Scott, him throwing a magnet, as I can see it wrapped around his neck and falling into the canal. I don't know why.
And Kimmy pulling on the other end.
yeah, or Kimmy, or him starting to throw it out and Kimmy throwing it out.
Should I be sending in this magnet then, or what?
It'll be a hot mess.
Right. Well, if it's Scott Dubay, I need you to email me. So if you can get a pen and paper ready.
How about I just have him? Okay, Scott, get your.
Andy said, and then you send me his address.
Andy Corner said, my wife is listening with me. Andy, I understand, but she wasn't in chat. I don't think that's fair to. You know what I mean? I apologize. I should have made it clear. You got to have your own, name in chat. I apologize for that, but we're gonna go with Scott. I apologize. I mean, do you think that's fair, Dave?
If it wasn't written down in the chat room, then obviously.
Well, he put it in chat, but he said his wife isn't in chat.
Entirely up to yourselves.
I don't think that would be fair, because I mean that would be like giving everybody an opportunity. Heck, somebody could have said me and my 5 kids are here, and their name's not in chat. You know what I mean? Andy, yeah. I apologize, buddy. I do. I don't think that would be fair. I understand she's listening. But I'll take the blame that I should have let everybody know you can only pick once per the name in the chat.
Mike, I know what you can send her.
What's that?
Randy.
Yeah, Andy, I'll tell you
No, Randy, your son.
no. So, Andy, what I can do, the number 2 is I got a 15-month-old son. I'll be more than happy to send him over. You can borrow him for a year. That's your prize, and he's a little demon. I'm just kidding.
Right, I've sorted out the addresses anyway, so Aaron's added me into a group with them. So thank you, Aaron, for doing that for me. I cannot see it just yet, as I am using my phone to do this podcast. So if I click it, I will go off air.
But yeah, I apologize, guys, for that little mix-up. I had missed it to begin with, but when I went back and looked, he had said his wife picked it. I don't think it would be fair. But I should have made the rules clear. I apologize. So we're gonna go with Scott for now.
Hey, if you get me on the show again, I'll do another one.
Yeah, we'll do it. That would be great. Go find some really cool stuff and get in some good metal detecting and come back.
Or alternatively, find a safe and give the safe away unopened.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's pretty cool, actually, because you don't know what could be in it. Like a mystery box.
My goodness, there's no way I could give away a safe unopened and not know what's in it. Because that would be the 1 in a million finds. It's just full of gold coins or something. Yeah, that's something I've always. Anytime I watch YouTube video with somebody magnet fishing, is I always think like, my goodness, I wonder how many times their magnet has gone over a silver coin or a gold coin or.
No, I've been the same. I've been the same.
That is,
you don't know what's in there, do you? I mean, regarding finding gold, a friend of mine called Ant Bradley, he's got his own YouTube, Ant's Adventures. He found a safe, and it was opened, but whilst he was pulling it out the canal, he found like a little hidden drawer compartment inside there, inside the safe, and inside in that little compartment was 2 gold coins. Worth like 500 quid each.
All right, for some.
Yeah, I mean, wow. I wish it was me. 2 gold coins.
Wow, that's incredible. I'd love to find.
So I mean, like, it can happen. You can find gold.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. In a container or something, you never know what you could find. Now you need to dig up a big steel strongbox filled with gold coins.
Oh man. Oh, stop. You're going to start getting my imagination going.
Right. Yeah. So did you ever think... did you ever come up with anything like really strange you found? You've got to have found something strange or gross or... There's got to be something.
Well, there's stuff off camera that I found. Don't really like saying it though. Found bodies and stuff like that. And dildos. Well, I've not found
great grandma's old cast iron dildo. Is that what we're talking about?
No. You find, dildos have metal components inside, don't they? Like the batteries and stuff. So they stick right onto your magnet.
Did I actually hear you say bodies?
Yeah, there's been a few times where bodies have been pulled out. Yeah.
What type of bodies?
Dead ones.
No, I mean like human, animal?
Both.
Really?
Oh, man.
Yeah, you get a lot of bodies in Manchester canals.
Wow.
Oh, in fact, there's a little saying here. I don't know if you've heard it before, Dave. I mean, like, the Manchester Canal Pusher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, police just blame it on the people being drunk, falling in the canal. But I mean, like, the residents think there's actually someone hitting people over the head next to the canals and pushing them in.
Wow.
And then obviously they drown and die. Bodies are being pulled up every week.
Wow.
A lot of magnet fishers have found bodies. It's just part of the trade, really, I guess. I mean, like, it's horrible finding one, but at
Good
some
Lord.
point you've got to be prepared.
Good Lord, we're talking about mental health. Yeah, I don't think I ever want to go magnet fishing now. That'd be no good for my mental health. Having a good day, enjoying the beautiful weather, and then all of a sudden, oh no. I want to get. I'm sorry, I don't mean to make light of it. It's just, God, goodness, that'd be horrible. So let me ask you this: when you found a body, how did that go? I mean, I'm guessing it was hours with the police, probably, and.
No, the police just come and cordon off the area, and off you go.
Oh,
That's
well.
pretty much it. You give your details. They ask you how you came across it, and then that's it. You get a lot of media that get hold of it and somehow get hold of your name, and they try and contact you. But I mean, like, out of respect for the people, you refuse to talk to them. Yeah, so.
That is
I mean,
horrible.
like, you don't really want to. I mean, like, to me, it's anyone.
Well, I've got to ask, how many occasions has this took place?
One.
Wow. And what was your reaction?
I'm going to be giving away my job here. I don't really want to. Let's just say.
Let's just say we'll leave it there.
Before. Yeah, I've done this before, so. Yeah.
Well, we'll leave that there then.
Don't bother me. But
Still,
I really don't think people should try and gain fame off it, if you get what I mean. Hence why you don't film it, you don't talk to the media about who you are. You know, because I cannot stand people like that. So, yeah.
mental, I say mental, but obviously I shouldn't have said it in that respect. But there's the one occasion that somebody's put a video on YouTube that I know of, where they've put, OMG, I found a body, but it ended up not being a body. But, you know, that's the only occasion I've seen anything like that.
I mean, like, there's one where it actually really affected me. It was whilst I was going through my mental health stage, and I went magnet fishing, and there was a guy over a bridge right next to where I was, about to jump.
Wow.
Man, that got me. That got me more than anything. Obviously, because, I mean, like, I've just been there and done that myself.
Yeah.
You know, so that was a hard one. That was in Manchester, that.
Crackers.
Yeah, I mean, like, can be anything, though, can't it? So, shit happens, as they say. Oh, you made me swear.
Time to put him off, Mike.
Yeah, bye.
I can't honestly stop thinking about that. It's something that you don't expect going magnet fishing, and, you know, finding something. All right, your dogs, your cats, your birds, but wow.
Oh, there was one actually when I went out on Saturday. It was with Aunt Bradley again, and Aunt found like a metal case, like a bit like an ammo case.
Mm-hmm.
And when he pulled it up, it stunk. When he opened it and emptied it, there was dog bones in there.
Really?
Yeah, someone's put a dog in there and thrown it in the canal. Obviously, that's how it died.
Terrible.
I mean, you do find some sick stuff, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just a heartless, morbid person. Yeah, just get on with it, don't you?
So, any other tadpoles of information about magnet fishing and the like? Anything else you'd like to reach upon?
Oh. Well, my best advice would be to think like a criminal. So, what you want is nice secluded roads that are near housing estates but by themselves, with a bridge that goes over, like, say, a stretch of canal. Somewhere where it's easy for them to pull up alongside the canal, open the boot, chuck it in, and then go again. No one sees them. No one knows they've been there. That's my best bit of advice I can give you. You're more likely to find... Oh, sorry, hiccups. You're more likely to find guns, safes, stuff like that in those type of areas. And I would say go as a two. Don't go by yourself. I mean, like, canals can be a lonely, secluded place. Anything can happen. So,
and if you're doing it in Manchester, you get the phantom canal pusher as well.
Well, yeah. You never know, do you? You know, you've got to take that into consideration. I mean, your life is a precious thing, and you only get one shot at it, so don't waste it.
So, Michael, have you got anything else? Michael?
Which Michael?
I have just been talking. I have been talking away, and somehow I'd put my mic on mute. I apologize, guys. I've been trying to interrupt you. I'm like, Dave keeps talking over me. Dave, stop it. One thing I wanted to say was, if you don't want to find bodies, you might want to stay near houses and lights and not out in the country. I think you've figured out where the bodies are at as well. That's just scary. But we've got a couple questions. Scott said... What's that?
I was going to say, I don't want to put people off magnet fishing. That's very rare stuff like that happens, you know.
Right. Aaron wants to know if you're a good swimmer, and he was asking why you wear a life vest. Is it just in case you fall in, or?
I don't wear a life vest. I'm just fat.
I hear you.
Scott,
the only time I've worn a life vest is when I dressed up as a pirate, and I got a blow-up dinghy, and I rode down the Greater Manchester Canal dressed as a pirate. That's the only time I've worn a life vest.
That sounds like fun. That sounds like
the video's on my YouTube.
Scott says, any guns or knives? Scott, you came in late. He found a pair. Do you know what kind of guns those were? Beautiful looking guns.
One was an 1851 Colt Navy. The other two were Colts, but I can't quite remember. I think they were 1878.
Yeah, those would have been in my collection. I would have not given them up to the government. No way. No deal.
I had no choice. Someone dressed me up.
I know. What a shame, though. What will become of those guns?
I am currently in argument trying to get them back because, according to the gun law, because they are antiques and black powdered pistols, well, one of them is especially, I do not need a license to own it. So I am trying to get them back. But if I don't, they will end up just being melted down and sent to the scrapyard.
Oh, God, what a
which is a shame, really, because they're beautiful. So.
Mm-hmm. They are beautiful. Scott wants to know, ever magnet fish a metal detector? My goodness, wouldn't that be funny?
That would be funny.
Mm-hmm. You know, it happens. I know people who have been in the ocean and get hit by a big wave. They don't have their detector tethered to them, and lose their detector. I've heard of it. I guess I don't know anybody. I've heard of it on a few occasions. People actually losing their...
Imagine beach detecting and you find metal detector buried in the sand. Yeah,
Right.
you'd be
Funny.
buzzing, wouldn't you?
That would be funny. Absolutely. I think
that'd be
that's.
ace.
I think we're caught up on all the questions. We're kind of getting towards the end. So if you got any questions, get them in. Aaron said, "Ever hit a swan with a magnet?" In parentheses, he's got accidentally.
Ever been slung with a magnet?
Have you ever hit a swan?
Oh, ever hit a swan?
Yeah.
No, but I've seen somebody hit a duck.
Oh no!
I shouldn't laugh, but I did.
Did anyone shout duck before they done it?
No, everyone was just like, "You snide piece of shit." But no, I've not hit one. I've seen it, but not done it.
Scott said if you render them unfireable, you can have them for display purposes. Andy said, take me magnet fishing, then Brad and lend me a magnet is not a winner. Andy, you're making me feel really bad. I apologize. Yeah, Scott said if you render them unfireable, and I would guess being in the bottom of a canal for possibly 100+ years, they sure aren't fireable. I'd sure stay on top of that.
But it's convincing the police that, and the police, they can be very unreasonable. So, I mean, like the firearms officer that took the guns off me, I actually had to explain the gun laws to him. So,
oh Lord.
So yeah, they can be a bit funny, as you would say.
Wow,
just like anything. And regarding people going magnet fishing with me, I mean, like, I get asked by thousands of people to go magnet fishing with them, and I can't, do it for everyone. So every now and again, if you follow me on my Facebook, which is That's Brad, I do like a meetup session where everyone can come, and then that way I can try and get to meet some people.
Oh, that's nice. Aaron, South Coast Detecting, said, Brad, can you do me a new intro for my videos now that you've had your hair cut?
Yeah, okay. Aaron, I'll send it on Facebook.
John O'Reilly said, I skipped over this earlier. Do you have are you and Scott Dubay going to get together or how does he get a hold of you for the magnet?
Scott, Aaron has added you to a Facebook chat with me.
Okay.
I believe I can get it that way.
Oh, you said that. I apologize. John O'Reilly said something earlier when we were talking about, the question come up if you ever found a detector. He's, while magnet fishing. John O'Reilly said it'd be a bounty hunter. I agree with him 100%. Yeah. Trying to see. I think that's it. I don't see anybody else. If you got any questions, get them in now, and we're gonna wrap it up here real soon. But it has been a lot of fun having you on.
I've had a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah, me too. It was fun having you on and learning. And until it took a dark turn, we should have booted him right then, Dave. We should have just booted him when it got dark.
Well, you asked the question. Yeah.
Yeah. No, our fault. Totally our fault.
Yeah, your fault.
Well, it was. I think it was good to talk about that. People need to know. Hey, if you're going to be doing this, you might run into some crazy stuff.
Yeah, just be prepared.
Yeah, just be prepared.
Be prepared. Have a mobile phone on you. You might need to call bomb squad at some point, especially over here.
And Andy Corner said, contact Joe Frangleton, Frangleton, at Manchester Police to see if he can help. He's got firearms in parentheses behind Joe's name, so I'm guessing he's in charge of firearms or something.
Right, okay.
So that's Joe Frangleton.
I wonder if I'm dealing with him. I might be dealing with him.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all lawsuits that I can't go into properly yet, but I am currently trying. So
I got you. Good deal. Gary Helm says, thanks, guys. Great show. Glad you enjoyed it, Gary. So I am ready to wrap this up if you guys are.
Certainly.
Okay.
Well, can I get a last word in?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone, for joining. If you can, please check out my YouTube, which is That's Brad. Facebook as well, That's Brad. And again, thank you, onlinemagnets.co.uk for the magnet which Scott will be having. So thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for having me. I hope to do it again.
Yeah, absolutely we will. I had a good time, and I know Dave likes magnet fishing, so we'll definitely get you back on. It was fun.
Yeah, and I'll see you at Detectival, Dave.
You certainly will. If not before, being that we're so close together.
Yeah, you never know, do you? You never know.
Thank you, guys. Thanks. Appreciate the listeners. We're happy to be back. I've missed it. I'm sure Dave's missed it, and we are back, and we are good. Good night, everybody, and or good night, guys, and thanks again for coming on.
Good night.
All right, there you are. We wrapped it up. Our first one back. Brad was a blast. Before we go, on Facebook, North of the Tyne Detecting, Addicted to Bleeps. I love watching that guy. Metal Detecting, UK Dirt Fishing, C-Scope, 6MXI UK. I like that group. I love the C-Scope. All Metal Mode Podcast UK. On YouTube, Huntress Kimmy and Cloudhopper Scott. I enjoy watching those guys. They are a hoot. Find some really cool stuff. Addicted to Bleeps. I Detect. Shilling King Metal Detecting UK. TC Detects. I love watching him. He's using a Rudis, one of my favorite detectors, and Grim Bleepers. Don't forget, if you need metal detector equipment, LP Metal Detecting. www.leisure-promotions.co.uk. Leisure Promotions, look it up, and you can Google Leisure Promotions and you'll find it. Thank you all for tuning in. Glad to be back, and we will talk to you next week, 8 p.m. 8 p.m. GMT, I believe it is. Yeah. So good night, everybody. Thank you.
The Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine acts as a hub for information, offering articles from archaeologists, detectorists and other specialists throughout the genre, featuring many links, event info and news articles associated to archaeology and metal detecting. We also offer professional review services and promotion for books, resources, videos, documentaries, gadgets, equipment and much, much more. The magazine is run by the archaeological and metal detecting community for the archaeological and metal detecting community. So come visit us at archmdmag.com, that's archmdmag.com, and check out information from our media section with all the latest content, news from the Archaeology channel, podcast and the YouTube channels that feature the now legendary Digger Dawn, the Man with the Hat and Archeo Duck, just to name a few. If you would like to offer an article, link or inquire about other services, then pay us a visit at archmdmag.com and drop us a line.